Hello everyone, welcome to Filmtastic. I've been talking a lot about villains recently with all the talk about Descendants returning, and I thought this was the perfect time to rank my top 10 Disney villains. If you guys didn't know, I've already ranked my top 10 Disney princesses, so there'll be a link to that if you guys want to check that out. This was really hard actually, there's so many Disney villains to choose from, but I just managed to whittle down a list. But this was pretty difficult, but I managed to do it, and I feel good that I've narrowed down the ones that are my favourites. So, number 10 is Hades. Now, believe me, guys, this is not low. Like, I was trying to write down all Disney villains, and I was like, damn, there's so many I want to put in this list. So, actually, my man, he did well. And I just could not put Hades here. Like, he's just so iconic. I absolutely love him. I love how he's just literally just this businessman, just making deals with the dead, essentially. And honestly, it's like the perfect vibe. And I just love his essence of sass and charisma. It's just amazing, and it's to die for, quite literally, because he's the god of the underworld. Anyways, so that is Hades. I'm pretty happy with his spot. Then number 9 we have Gaston. I absolutely think Gaston is awesome. He is so iconic. He just has this cool thing about him where he's like an anti-version of the Beast, so he's like complements the story so perfectly, and he's just so outrageously awful that he's kind of hilarious. Like the fact that he doesn't know how to like read a book, yet he's willing to go man to man with a beast. It's just, I mean, the man is a loony, as we find out in the movie, but he's definitely an iconic Disney villain, and I think he fits the story absolutely perfectly, thematically and aesthetically. And I just love the sort of thing where you have like the Beast and the Gaston, and it's like, who is the Beast and who is the man? It's very cool. It kind of gives me, it reminds me of that quote from Hunchback of Notre Dame where they asked the same question. It is Cruella. I love Cruella. She is such a queen, such an icon, and it definitely helps that, you know, all the live action portrayals of Cruella are just as iconic as the animated version of her. Like, come on. Have you guys seen the Emma Stone remake or the Glenn Close original 100 Dalmatian live action movie? Both versions iconic. So yeah, overall, Cruella's fashion sense is just crazy awesome, and it's just so. I mean, she's just a fashion icon. Let's be real. Now, do I approve her skin and puppies? No. That's why she's quite low on this list, because she's a pretty awful person. I mean, to be fair, all these guys are awful people, but her sense of fashion and style and how outrageously funny she is. I mean, the way she just drives her car, like, absolutely maniacally, is absolutely hilarious. Like, she's unironically hilarious, and she deserves a spot on this list. Not for skinning puppies, that's a no-no, girly. Okay, number 7 is the Evil Queen. Oh my gosh, I think she's so cool. So obviously she has to be here somewhere because she's the first Disney villain, and she is just oozing with awesomeness. I mean, she has this creepy lair, she has this like uneasy presence throughout the movie. She manages to actually succeed temporarily with what she wants to do. I mean, she literally kills Snow White, so she's one of the most successful Disney villains, I'll give her that. But then she also did die like 20 seconds later. But yeah, the Evil Queen is just an icon. She very much was the bread and the butter. You know, she was like, you know, she was the first one. Like, if she wasn't awesome, we want to get all these other awesome people. So she's an icon, and she deserves a spot on this list. And she's like pretty freaking scary, so she 100% deserves a spot here. Number 6 is Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Speaking of that movie, and oh my gosh, this guy, he is so creepy. And also so insane, and also so extremely evil. It's kind of hard not to put him on this list. He's just crazy. And Hellfire, or what a song! Like, one of the best Disney songs out there, I'm pretty sure we can all agree. And his presence in the movie is just so unnerving and unsettling. Like, he's like my favourite, but like not in like a fun way, but like more in like just he's so deliciously evil sort of way. And it's the fact that he's so painfully human and like almost realistic, it kind of makes him uneasy to watch because he feels like so real, like he feels like he could be someone in real life. And I mean, the extreme lengths he would go to just to, you know, prove that gypsies aren't welcome in Paris and whatnot. It's just insane. I mean, the fire scene, the scenes where he tries and kills Phoebus, all the scenes where he abuses Quasimodo. I mean, the man is pure evil, and he deserves every demise that he gets in the movie. Well, the demise. He falls into fire. Okay, number 5 is Jafar. Jafar is so cool, honestly. He's yet again a maniacally evil, but he's also one of the ones where he's also fun. You know, we like a fun villain, and Jafar is fun. Like, as evil as he has a bit of sass and funness to him, which I find quite awesome. But yeah, he is a maniacally master evil planet sort of guy. I mean, he teams up with Aladdin to get the lamp, and then he lets Aladdin to die. So that is pretty dang awful. And then he goes to extremes of literally stealing the lamp from Aladdin, and then making himself an all-powerful sorcerer and a genie. And when he gets too much power, he's just so powerful. I mean, the man literally breaks apart the Agrabah palace. Well, he forces genie to as like a slave. Like, the man is scary when he has that much power, and he's just a fun sort of villain, and one that I always love to watch. So he's definitely here in this list at number 5. But yeah, definitely pretty scary. I mean, the guy turned into a freaking snake. Okay, number 4 is Ursula, the queen, the icon of the Disney villain family. I mean, how could she not be in the top 5? Ursula is an absolute queen. Her style, yet again, she's stylish like Cruella, I will say. I mean, not stylish in the fashion way, but I guess in the fashion way, kind of. But she's literally a sea creature, so it's kind of a weird comparison. But she's a stylish queen, okay? I'm gonna throw it in there. I also feel like she has a somewhat valid reason for being evil as well. Like, she was literally kicked out the kingdom, and Triton didn't like treat her the best. So in a weird way, she's like an outsider. So you do kind of feel bad for her, but then like she's also evil, so you don't feel that bad about her. You know, by the time you get to like the second half of the movie, you're just like, oh my god, just get her gone already, you know. But obviously, like Jafar, he has like a final boss mode where she just, and it's like that point where it's like the villain gets so much power that almost like they get really terrifying, you know. And obviously, like Aladdin, there's a similar thing going on here. She turns into a giant squid. She has the massive crown. You know, she's controlling the ocean, the waves. It feels like she's won. I mean, she's literally defeated King Triton at that point. And at that point, she is freaking scary, like, oh my gosh, but she's also a queen, so we have to stand. But, like, oh my gosh, she is an evil, evil villain, and she obviously paved the way for many iconic villains in that era. So we do have to stand Ursula. She is awesome. We're now on to the top 3, and number 3 is Scar from The Lion King. I feel like Scar is always in everyone's top 3, and I agree, Scar is a crazy awesome villain. He succeeds. I mean, that is one thing to give him credit for. He also says really he has a really cool backstory. So he has that thing where it's like, it's all about his family kind of propping up Mufasa and all that stuff. And it's like, he's fully fueled by jealousy and rage. And it kind of creates a really awesome villain. And he's definitely one of the most iconic ones for sure. And honestly, the man can claim his title as the best Disney villain song. I mean, maybe except for Hellfire. People usually decide between Hellfire or the Be Prepared. I mean, I personally like Be Prepared more. It's a bit more bouncy. Like, I feel like I can listen to it on the go, but I do like both of them. They're great, awesome villain songs. So, I mean, yeah. But yeah, what I was gonna say, I mean, Scar is an iconic Disney villain, and I mean, I will say the live action version of him is a bit of a dud. I mean, I could say the same with Jafar, but he's still such a cool villain in all versions, and I'm really excited to see like some of his backstory in the Mufasa movie that comes out this year, because it's meant to expand on his story a bit, so I'm quite excited about that. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, he always scared me as a kid as well. I mean, the scene where he like throws Mufasa into the stampede always scared me as a kid. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. Why? It always made me want to just like go up to him and just like punch him in the face and be like, why'd you do that to Mufasa, mate? Like, what's your deal? Anyways, that is Scar. He's going at 3. I have 2 I like even more. Number 2, to no one's surprise, because I feel like I've made my affection for this movie well known on this channel, is Dr. Facilier. He's not one, but he's still number 2, which I still think is a high rank for him. And I just love Dr. Basilia, man. He's just so cool. He's the perfect yin to yang of Tiana and Naveen, kind of like how Gaston is in his movie, but like what Dr. Basilia is, he's like if Tiana kind of prioritized like greed and wealth and didn't, make room for family. It'd be like what would happen potentially to Tiana if she didn't open up and, have relationships and have family, like the lesson basically she learns in the movie to kind of, chill and, don't put your mind on your goals all the time. You can have fun and balance out you kind of working towards your dream, because you can have a balance. And Love Stuff City kind of shows what happens when you don't have that balance and you drive to extremes, which is obviously him making a deal with the voodoo. And this guy is so scary, honestly, man. I mean, every scene that he's in, he just oozes villain, but he's also so charismatic. So you just love him at the same time. He has a really good villain song. He also like partially succeeds, or like he succeeds for a lot of the movie as his plan. Like he doesn't get stopped until right at the last minute. Like his plan to take over New Orleans is like pretty much like done by the time to even get there. It's literally not till the end in the whole third act where he gets defeated, but he was very close to winning. And to be fair, he did take one from Tiana's team because he took out Ray, and I'm still upset about that to this day. Like with Scar and Vasilia have taken out my beloveds, so I will always hate them to this day, but it's like a hate love because they're also good at their job, I suppose, and I do like them. But Love Vasilia to me is just one of the best Disney villains, and I will always love him. I will always buy merch for him. I will always hate him because he's evil. He has a great song. He's a perfect yin to yang of the main characters. He has charisma. He's scary. He also is like terrified of the voodoo things, like the things he made to deal with at the beginning. So it kind of makes him feel human as well by the end of the movie. He's just an all-rounded great character. So I just love Dr. Basilia. He is so good. And number 1, to no one's surprise either, because I feel like she's on most people's villain list at the top, is Maleficent. She is so good. She's an icon. I mean, she's literally the embodiment of pure evil. So, I mean, she kind of has to be first at this point. But I mean, literally, her outfit slays. Very villainous. I love the purple. I love the black. She just works it. And I just love how she oozes evil, and you guys can't forget the iconic dragon scene where she turns into a dragon and she has to go head to head with Philip, and the fact as well that she also kind of succeeds as well. Like she defeats Aurora pretty instantly when she gets to the castle. Like the girl doesn't get defeated until right at the end when Philip and the fairies save the day. So Maleficent's a pretty terrifying villain. And honestly, in all the stuff she's been in the live action movies and all the parts media, she's always had this presence to her, which I absolutely love. And it just oozes evil, but also fun. And I just love Maleficent, her style, all the variations of her. Like she's always used really well in like all the media as well. Like I just love Maleficent. She's so cool. And as much as I love her, I also hate her because she's a villain. But like I said, she's a villain that has a big presence everywhere, and you can kind of feel it in the movie and everywhere else. And she can just tell that she would be like the head of the villains club. If they're the villains club, Maleficent would be at the head. She's an icon, and I can't help but stan. Anyways, that is my list. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Not like it? Let me know your favourite villains in the comments down below. Bye, everybody.